Right, see if anyone's around for this one. Hopefully got a few. In just a moment. So got one person. Put your name in the chat. I'm still doing registers, so make sure you've got your name and you've got credit for your name being on the. Okay, so let's see who shows up for this one. So pop your name in the chat box, and we'll get started from there when a few more people show up. We've got a couple of people now. We'll get started in just a moment. As soon as people start putting their names in the chat box, I need that to do the register. That's how I do the register, as you know. So I'll just wait for that. So as soon as you're ready, put your name in the chat box and we'll get started. The quicker we get this done, the quicker we can finish up here. So we've got Naima to get going with. Just pop in the live chat. We just need to finish off these last few lessons this Wednesday, this Friday, next Wednesday. Get the register complete, get everything set up, and that's pretty much us done. So there's not a huge amount of time left. I'm going to show you a couple more things from psychology, the math and psychology. We're going to do Spearman's rank, which is definitely on your course because I did it with year 13s this morning and they said that was something they did in psychology. I can see all of this. Everything's fine. Ikram, Anissa, Isabella, brilliant. That's good. I'm going to wait maybe a minute too longer. So the thing I'm teaching you today is definitely on your course because the year 13s told me it was. All right. So hopefully that's going to be something you're going to take with you next year. Yeah. I mean, it's presumably she had a reason, wanted to know why. So we've got 6 people. I do want everyone to sign in. Should I go on a walk? I'm going to pop out today. So I think it's safe enough as long as there's like not too many people around you. I go on my back roads. Not very often, I've got to say. Most of the time I stay at home. But today I might, especially if it just rains. I mean, that's the thing not to do. You're not meant to see your friends. I mean, I'm going to go from my house literally and there'll be hardly anyone on the road, so it's like you're socially isolating and you're allowed a day, you're allowed one out, aren't you? You're allowed one a day, not to mention I'll do some shopping, so it's not like kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I mean, just don't do too much. You have so much work to do. Cool, let me add to that. That's not a very kind thing to do, but as I said, today's content is something you'd have to do for psychology. All right, you don't have time to go out. I mean, it depends. Like, if you stay on your work, it's easier. But like, the temptation of like your chair and all that stuff, and you know everything there just can distract you, screens and all the rest of it. It's kind of hard to concentrate. Anyways, let's get started. We've got 7 people. That's enough to get started with. The quicker I get this done, the quicker you can get back to your work. So if you haven't put your name in the chat, do it for me now. Because remember, that's the register I'm running. If you look in your emails, oh, yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, I can understand that. I've seen a drop off of a few people actually that are not coming into class just for that reason, and that makes sense, I suppose, to some extent. Okay, so if you check your emails, you've got an email with I think 2 or 3 worksheets in it. The one I want you to look at is the one that's called Spearman Rank. I know that's not particularly grammatically correct. Spearman Rank Introduction. Okay, that's the one we're doing. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through one example. And then I'm going to say, well, the rest of it's your business. I will say this does come up in psychology, like I said before. I figured out how to do cahoots in these things. The debate is on about this, actually. Some people say, well, yeah, it is. Some people say, well, we haven't got college or haven't got school, so we haven't got something that, you know, passes the days. But then other people are saying, well, I'm just going to sleep until like 3 o'clock or whatever, and then wake up. So I mean, it seems something that people are debating whether it's easier or not. So yeah, let's just get this over and done with, so I don't waste any more of your time than I have to. Not pending or anything. There we go. So if you go on your email, you'll be able to find a sheet, and it's the name of it is literally Spearman Rank Introduction. It's technically Spearman's Rank, but that's not what the worksheet is called. If you open that up for me, you'll see that there's an example, but before there is an example, there is a formula. So I'm going to just write out the formula there. In fact, no, let's just open up the Word file first, and we'll talk, right? Okay, let's see what people are saying. Right. That's good. That means I can go and shout at everyone who doesn't turn up to our lessons because it's easier this year. Okay, cool. Let's do this. So Spearman's rank is for it's a thing for 2 variables to see how correlated. Remember, correlated means, is there a correlation between them? Means basically, is it a case that if one goes up, the other one goes up, or as one goes up, the other one goes down, or whatever, whether it's positive or negative correlation, are 2 connected variables. Well, actually, no. Just put 2 variables for now. I'll talk to you about the connection bit in a minute. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. And the numbers come on the scale from -1 to 1, where 0 is no correlation, so they're not connected at all. -1 is, you can't see any of that. Let me just rub that out. So yeah, so Spearman's rank, I'm going to write this, tidy this all up, because this is garbage notes at the moment. Let's do these properly now. So SRCC, Spearman's rank, correlation coefficient, is for 2 variables. Seem to have lost, people are kind of dropping in and out. Maybe that's the Wi-Fi more than anything else. 2 variables, how correlated are they? Yeah? And it's between -1 and 1. Now, you learned PMCC in core maths, but I think for psychology, they use the SRCC, and it's not massively different. You have to do a teensy bit more maths, but it's easier maths. Okay, so here you've got perfect negative correlation. This is no correlation. So 0 would be no correlation, and then 1 will be perfect, positive. All right? So, and you could be anywhere in that region. It isn't between -1 and 1. It can just be those numbers. It could be like 0.3. It could be -0.7. All right? So that's your scale. All right? And SRCC will give you a number. And the number it gives you is a measure of how correlated are 2 particular variables. So if you can go to your email for me now, and if you haven't done this already, open up the file that says Spearman Rank Introduction, and you'll have an example there. I am going to try and copy out the example as much as I can, so people that can't open up that file can just follow it. But, you know, we go. Yeah, we go. I'm going to give you about another 30 seconds to copy these notes, and we move on. Okay, let's move on. So the example they've got is between students that are studying 2 languages, French and German. So I'm just going to copy out a table so you can see what happened to each one of those. So here we've got, so call them student A, B, C, D. I'm just giving them letters just for convenience. I know in the example they don't use that, G, H, I, J. And then they've done 2 subjects. They've done French and they've done German. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. With that teensy bit so you can see that a little bit better. Right, cool. I think that's about as good as that's going to get. And let's see what they got in each subject. So in each subject, they got 15 and 21 for student 1. So student 1 got 15 in French and 21 in German, and so on and so forth. So you can see that each pair of results corresponds to a person. So all of the people in this did both exams, and Spearman's doesn't work if it was just one person did French and another person did German. They have to both have done the same exams, same number of exams, which is a pair of exams. 35, 27, and 30. So person F got 27 in French and 30 in German. So hopefully not so bad so far. 36, 39, 34, 36, 23, 27, and then finally 24, 20. Yeah? So what's happening there is that people, the variables that you're looking at are how well you do in French and how well you do in German. And the thing we're investigating is there a connection between how good you are at French and how good you are at German? So is there a correlation between success in French and success in German? So that's the question that they're asking in the example. All right. And if you're looking for the example, it's in the file Spearman rank introduction, which I've emailed you. All right. So that's what we're doing. Now you can see there is this monster. If you've got the sheet, you can see there's a monster of a formula, which we're not going to stress too much about because we're going to deal with it. And it's not particularly difficult. It says 1 over 6 sigma d squared n cubed minus n. And if you look it up, some people write it as n, factorized out as n squared minus 1. But, I'm not going to stress. We're not going to use the formula like that till the very, very end. I'm going to show you the method first. All right? Because the method is so much easier. The next two columns of writing are the rank in French and the rank in German. So I better explain that. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the one that's got the smallest grade in French. So here will be A, and give him rank number 1. All right. So he got the lowest grade. I'm doing it from smallest to largest. The next smallest looks to me like D. So I'll put a 2 there. So that's how rankings work, right? So just a second. I'm gonna. I hate this computer so much sometimes. Why would you do that? Right. Let's see if anyone's saying anything. Okay, cool. Good to see you, Zerda. Good to see you, Precious. Good to see you, Sarah. What I'm doing is I'm showing Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. I mean, feel free just to flick back in the video to get the full understanding of this. But basically, it's another method to see whether two variables are correlated. So what we've got here is the scores of 10 students in 2 subjects, French and German. So what we're investigating is there a connection between how good you are at French and how good you are at German? I think that's about as good as that getting. And all of this comes from a worksheet that I've sent you called Spearman Rank, not Spearman's Rank, just Spearman Rank introduction. So you can see this all done again. I'm trying to get this camera to give as much as it possibly can. It's just being annoying. Never mind. Well, it's not the end of the world. That'll probably do it. Yeah. So we're going to give everyone a ranking in their subjects. So the worst person in French is rank number 1. He's only got 1. And then the next person is student D. They got 22. The next one after that would be I. The next one after that would be J, and so on and so forth. I'm going to do all of this for you because it's already given in the worksheet. So it's not really a test of anything that you know. So the next one after that would be the 27. So that's 5. What other numbers are there? So we've got 33 is a 6. I guess that's 7. Am I missing any? No, that's 8. That's... So what they've gone with that, they've got 2 equivalent ones of 9 and 10. They're both... Normally what you do is you do 9.5, 9.5, but it's not the end of the world. They've gone with 9s and 9. That's fine. It won't actually make any difference on this. Okay? I'm going to follow the way they do it. I would also split... I'll probably go 9.5, 9.5. make them both, instead of making 1, 9 and 1, 10, it makes no odds here. For the German, it's much of the same thing. I'm just going to rush through that. You just find this, the smallest one and give that rank 1. I'm just going to put them in. So 2, 9, 7, 3, 6, 5, 10, 8, 4, 1. And to be able to do Spearman's rank, to get this number, to see how correlated you are, the thing you've got to do is work out the ranks first. All right? I'm going to stop there just for a second. See as long everyone's along with me. How come it makes no difference? Well, to be fair, if you were going to do this properly, I would have made them both 9.5. It's not going to make a difference to this particular example, but when you do it, okay, actually, do you know what? I'll just do 9.5. The only reason why I didn't, actually, I'll tell you the honest reason why I didn't, because I didn't want to confuse you from what the worksheet says. But proper mathematics, and you should probably learn that for psychology, is that they should both be 9.5, yeah? Because they're both equal 9th and 10th places. And half of 9 and 10 is 9.5. So do you know what? I'm going to do it properly, whatever happens. Let's play fair on this. I don't think there's any other ones where they double up. No, they don't. So it only affects this one. And fine. It means I'm going to have to do the calculation, but I don't really care. The problem is I didn't want you kind of looking at the worksheet and go, oh, you got a different answer to the worksheet. In fact, the worksheet is slightly wrong on this. It should be 9.5 each. Fair shout. You did this in biology. Yeah, you're right. It should be 9.5. So yeah. Okay. So the next thing you need to do is, it turns up in biology, it turns up in psychology as well, is you work out the difference between them. And this is where it's going to start getting a little bit awkward, because we're going to move away from what the worksheet gives as a final answer. But it won't, as I said, we'll have a look at our answer. It won't be massively different. 1 minus 2 is -1. Now, some teachers insist that you have to keep it positive. I don't, because you don't have to. And you'll see why you don't have to in just a moment. Just literally just do the sum of them taken away from each other. That's what difference is, isn't it? Yeah? Minus 0.5, minus 1, 1, minus 1, and 3. Yeah? And the reason why that doesn't matter, which way around, whether it's positive or negative, is because you're going to square it. And when you square a positive or a negative number, you end up in the same place. All right? What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move up the sheet to carry on the working out. So if you haven't got this working out either copied, or you can see the worksheet, just, I'll give you a minute just to sort that out. Okay, beautiful. Let's move on. If you haven't already put your name in the chat, can you do that for me? So that gives me a little bit more. So obviously I want to make sure, for you guys, I think the main concern is making sure that you're getting your attendance mark, because that's about the only thing that's going to carry on, unless you choose to do a resit in September. Not a resit, if you're not happy with the grade you get and you decide to do the exam in September. Yeah, and I know you haven't printed this year. I wouldn't expect you to print it. As long as you've got it on the screen, it's fine. All right. And the good thing about this is, if you can just listen to me now, you can go back and see it whenever you want. I know you're one of the first people who were here. I remember that. I haven't seen is Dylan. I haven't seen Casey in forever. Holly turned up last lesson, so that's not so much of it much. Zamzam, that's another one you haven't seen for a while. And the thing is, I can't mark you in if you're not here, because there's a YouTube video proving whether you're here or not. Zoda, I know you're always here. I trust you. You managed to spell your name wrong, though. That's impressive. So that's 0.25. That's 1. That's 1. That's 4. That's 0. That's 0.25. That's 1. That's 1. That's 9. You just add them together, yeah? If you add them all together, swoosh up your numbers. That's the new spelling. The old spelling was better, got to say. So we've got this, yeah? So people can say, it's on them if they can't say your name. It's not your fault, is it? Come on. People should make an effort. Zoda is not a hard name to say. Right, so we've got to d squared. All right? So you've seen step by step, what have I done? I worked out what the ranks were. I did the difference. I did the difference square. Say that to Michael. I don't even know who Michael is. All right? He can't be... I'm sure he'll be fine. If he's teaching sixth form, you'll just say your name. You can't be that bad, can it? So next thing you do is sigma d squared. And from math language, it just means add up your d squareds, right? So it's 1.25, 2.25, 3.25, 7.25, 7.5, 9.5, 18.5. Yeah, check that for me. Okay. So far so good, I would have hoped, right? Now the formula looked like an absolute massive garbage. It's 1 minus 6 sigma d squared n cubed minus n. Okay, first of all, what the hell is n? Well, n is just how many like students there were, in this case, 10. I have no clue what that means. Either of the last two comments. I know what KMT stands for. I don't know what BMT stands for. Anyways, not going to get involved there. N equals 10. You plug into these numbers. Oh, okay. Where is it you're confused? In which case, don't worry, because I've got this all written down. I can literally take you through this line by line. Oh, I see. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you. Explaining of slang. Obviously, math teacher, no good at slang. So your sum would just go 1 minus 6 times 18.5 over, what's that? 1,000 times 10 minus 10, 990. And that will turn out to be, I don't know, 0.8 something. I'll check for you. I've got a calculator somewhere. Right. What I want to hear from you is where and when you got confused, because I haven't rubbed out any of the question. Yeah, I mean, you do, because it has to be 101, because I'm very ignorant of these things. And this is going to be the downside of not having you next year. There'll be no one else to clue me in. I got 1 minus answer. I got 0.89, which is almost exactly the same as if you didn't do the simplification. So the answer is 0.89, very strong positive correlation. All right. Now, what I want people to do is feedback in the live chat what they didn't understand, and I'll come back. I'll move the camera to the bit you didn't get. Once we've done that, then we're done for today. On Friday, I figured out how to do Kahoots, so we'll do some Kahoots on Friday and a bit more stats. We've only got 3 lessons left. We've got the Friday, and actually we've got 2 lessons left. We've got the Friday and we've got the Monday. Not the Monday, the Wednesday, because next Friday is a bank holiday, and that's us done. So you don't have to put up with me for too much longer, to be fair. We'll get through this. Your results, as I told you, are coming out August the 13th. How they're going to get done? I mean, so there's like, it's not like either of us are going to be dead. You can always like come to maths and visit and say hello. I mean, I'll probably see you in the corridor and say hello. And yeah, I mean, we'll have some fun. We'll do some silly ones. We did a drug one with my year 13s. That was quite funny. It's like all the slang names for drugs. I learned a few then as well. I'm going to miss this class big time. I mean, it was one of the better classes. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, it has been a lot of fun. But you know what? This is teaching, isn't it? At the end, you have to. Yeah, of course I am. Of course I am. I mean, at the end, that's the thing about teaching, isn't it? You have students for a while, and then they go, and that's just the basis of it. Next week would have been mock week. I mean, yeah, you don't need to stress about that anymore. Your mocks will be in September, unless you've been told otherwise. So there is that. The biggest thing you can do is make sure, yeah, give it back to me. I mean, that's an excuse, like we can all like catch up. You just give me the textbook stuff. What was I going to say to you? Make sure your attendance is on point for your other subjects now, because they're going to do predicted grades. They're going to look at like how, and also like submit all your work. What I've done is I've opened up a chat for all my students. No, that's not how it works. Here's how, I'll tell you how I'm doing it. I'm not sure everyone else is going to do the same thing, but it's going to be similar. So there's 3 things that we're doing. Number 1, we're going to do a test in September. Number 2, we'll do some project work. So that'll be for you, like psychology coursework or whatever, or investigation or something. And number 3, I've opened up a chat for every single student that I'm teaching next year. So that'll be like my year 12s. And I've said, every time you've done your work, every lesson, you need to send me pictures of your work. Because that way, like I've got a folder with all of their work in over the summer. Over the summer term. So like they can go to me, well, you can't really say I was slacking because I did this. Should you do EPQ? Have you got a good question to answer? Do you guys all know what EPQ is? I reckon you probably should, but you need to have a good. How is UCAS going to work? I want to do EPQ. I don't know. All right, cool. If you want to do EPQ, we'll have this chat now. Might as well pass the time. Pop up what sort of things you want to investigate. UCAS wants. How's UCAS going to work? You're going to get a lot of stuff from your tutor next week and also during the one-to-ones about what you're going to do. And it's going to be very much a case of use this time that you're stuck in. I mean, we're going to be stuck in for at least another 2 weeks. To decide what universities you want to go to. If you go to university, are you going to go for apprenticeships and all that? So for now, this is the time to, everyone asks people, what do you want to do? And you go, I don't know, because you haven't had a chance to think about it. This is your time to think about it. As for UCAS, it's going to carry on as normal, right? So the whole process will carry on as normal. I've just got a message saying that the bursary payments are coming out on the 1st of May. So yeah, if you're getting a bursary. Yaron, drop me a message because I'll just drop it in the chat. Did you get your funding? Because you should have done. Someone should have got in contact with you. Okay, so an APQ is like an extended project. So basically, instead of having 3 A levels, you have 3.5. You write a 2,000-word essay on a topic of your interest. So I know people that are supposed to be really interested in doing dentistry that do something on dentistry. If you're doing a very kind of competitive degree you want to get into, or your grades are slightly low or slightly high. So if you're slightly high, you want to just make yourself even more special. If they're slightly low, so if you got AAB instead of AAA, but you want to kind of convince universities, you didn't. Okay, I'll chase. You did get funded. I'll chase that up. You can do this to kind of make up the gap or increase your success. The problem is it's a bit of extra work, number one. And number two, you got to have a clear idea of what you're doing. But I mean, if both of you guys do it, I could see you succeeding on it. But it's less work than core maths, put it that way. But then second year is a bit harder as well. So I mean, it swings around roundabouts. If you do it, you want to do a 500-word thing, don't you? You have to do a 500-word kind of application. And if you want me to proofread, just drop me an email and I'll happily do that. All right? Have a good idea of what you want to do. And if you can't think of anything, again, I'm seeing you guys on Friday anyways. We'll have a chat. What I might do is do it, because we're doing Kahoots. Kahoots work on Microsoft Teams, so we can all talk to each other. You want to do it in history and law? Cool. So should we say just park that for today? And because we're going to do Kahoot on Microsoft Teams, and everyone's just going to be able to chat on that, we can just have like a class. We can all just talk to each other about that. You know what makes sense? That'd be quite a useful thing to do. So I hope that makes sense to you. When's the deadline? I think you've got a bit of time, hopefully. They haven't just dropped that on your head. History and law, those are good. Again, law I can definitely help you with. History, I mean, I know a bit, but it depends what kind of history you want to do it on. I mean, if it's like something that the A-level teachers cover, then definitely they'll be better than me. If it's something like, I don't know, something that, it's just out of the ordinary, maybe I won't. Okay, cool. So, I've set work. I mean, I'm not, it's not the end of the world. June 17th, we've got loads of time. June 17th. So let's just kind of like say this. I'm going to hang around here for a bit in case anyone needs any help with this or anything else. Why doesn't Candy do it in year 12 so dumb? I mean, I don't know, actually. I'll ask. I've got meetings there about all kinds of things. So I'll ask that. It's a good question. I mean, it's generally done now. I mean, like most colleges do it now, but there's no reason why, just because everyone else does it one way, we should do it that way. So it's a good question. So Friday, we're going to do... what should we do? Because Friday is a 9 o'clock one as well. And a lot of you guys will be fasting. Tell you what, I'm going to live stream smack bang in the middle. Are we happy to have the live stream at, say, 10:45? We'll do like a proper full one, though. So like we'll do Kahoots, we'll do lessons and all the rest of it. And we'll do this chat about EPQs as well. Does that seem okay to people? Does anyone really wanted to start at 9 o'clock is what I'm asking. So I don't mind doing it. I'll set work. Your friends don't hear because like EPQ hasn't even been properly announced yet at Candy, so our deadline's going to be later. Can we start at 10? Yeah, I'm happy to start at 10. 10's cool with me. 10 works nice for me. So what I'll do is I'll email you work. And I mean, you do it, you don't do it. That's your business. At 10 o'clock, I'll live stream. So the topic of the live stream will be, there'll be some maths in there because there's got to be maths in there. EPQ, we'll do that. To be honest, Naima, you're some kind of tank. Do you know how many people are like, I've missed my... Do you know the reason why basically I'm saying that? Because like the majority of people that are, no disrespect, that are Muslim have missed my 9 o'clock lessons. So it's just like, so here's my suggested topic list, and let's add a few things on. So this is going to be at 10 o'clock. It's at 10 a.m. I'll send a message confirming all this. EPQ. Yaron, you wanted to talk about degree apprenticeships. So we'll have a quick chat about that. I need to talk to one of my year 13s who's super good at that. What else do we want to know? What else would be useful to have? Like, because what we're going to do, instead of having it on YouTube, we're going to have it as a Microsoft Teams call so we can talk. UCAS, yeah, for sure. UCAS. Your teacher will do this with you, but you know what? No, I'm not getting it from me as well. What else would you like? How's uni like? I just don't go to sleep every night. Do you know what? I've got so much respect for you. I'm not even going to. Look, I'm not fasting anything. I woke up 9 o'clock. I did my lesson, obviously. But it's what we can do. Yeah, we'll have. Yeah. I'm not even fasting, as I said. Like, and I did my lessons. I'm not going to say I didn't, but like I was tired. And you're fasting and you're still doing it. You slept at 4:30 today. How many people are fasting in this chat? It's none of my business. You never told me. I'm just curious. Because literally, it doesn't matter whether you're a guy or a girl or whatever. It's literally the 9 o'clock lessons. That's the one where I have to literally send messages and wake up. Right now, it's what sleep. Yeah, come my guess, definitely. But to be fair, like you haven't missed anything either. I mean, there's a few students that could learn from your thing. Yeah. Can we do EPQ on singers and stuff? Yeah, I mean, we can talk that out, actually. What I'm going to do before Friday is I'm going to look at what they sent out. I mean, it depends what you're going to do. You can't do it on, I don't know, my favorite creator on TikTok. Unless you've got some kind of deep analysis, you're going to go on to this. I mean, it is what it is. It can't literally be, I like this girl or like this guy on TikTok. He's very pretty. She's very, you know what I mean, right? I mean, I would do it. I mean, I have no clue who that is. If you're going to do it on singers, there's one on Fight Club. Yeah, I'm sure there is one. Fight Club is actually quite deep for a film, if you think about it. If you watch it properly. I mean, like, there's literature. I mean, you could do one on TikTok dancing, but you'd have to be doing some kind of analysis, like how has TikTok changed up how like people are consuming media? Yeah. So like my generation is like the YouTube generation. As you can see, we're sitting on YouTube on my phone. TikTok is new for me. Like I know I've got it installed on my phone, but literally got no followers. Like Snapchat. Snapchat's your generation, not my generation. You know what I mean? I've got it installed, but I can't use it because I don't know what I'm doing with it. You know what I mean? So like you might want to talk about how different generations are using different apps. You might want to talk about how TikTok's run by China and how's that going to be different from having YouTube run by Americans, Google, right? I've seen a lot of memes going around saying, I blame Chinese for coronavirus, delete TikTok so they die. Hey, Naima? Could Dylan do it on BTS? I just like to see Dylan. I worry about Dylan. Do you know anything about the future apprenticeship thing that Candy do? Yes, I know tons about that. And I'm happy to, yes, we'll put that in the apprenticeship. Yeah, that's a whole special tutor group. I know Dylan's going to, that's why I worry about her. It's not like the rest of you guys I see, so it's not like I don't care about you. It's just like I don't worry about you. You're here, right? I know if anything's gone down, you'd let me know. I'm worried about Zamzam because I haven't heard from Zamzam at all. And it's not even like I'm worried about her safety. It's just like she's missing lessons. I hope she's not missing anything else. And Casey. I'm trying to pronounce it properly. I'm just clumsy with my words. It is what it is. All right, cool. I mean, we've got a plan here. 10 o'clock. Don't like mess that one up, right? Because last time I started at 10, and then every dude turned up at 10:45, and that's fine. But like turn up at 10. So I kind of we need, because it's going to be a different. It's not going to be me just lecturing you down a YouTube channel. It's going to be everyone being able to talk to each other. I kind of want to hear your opinions on a lot of things. All right. So and it'll be kind of like we'll obviously have the proper goodbye on next Wednesday. That's kind of sad. Dylan is pulling an England. No, it's a different matter. It's a different game. But yeah, it is. I mean, once you're part of my class, then it's my job to keep an eye. So many people are struggling with the online thing. Yeah, I get that. Especially like Virgin Media messed up. Are still messing up to some extent. That killed a lot of things. All right, I'm gonna say in that case, we'll meet again on Friday. We'll have a good long chat there. Okay, the online workload, that's something. Yeah, you're not wrong there. Are you finding that you're getting too much work before I go? Because that's something that. No, I hear you on that one. I hear you on that one. I have to do that too sometimes. I want to get something working on. Yeah, I guess because people are thinking you're at home, or maybe it's just because like they always thought you were doing that much work, and now they realize. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's something you need to feed back to your teachers to some extent. If you know there's certain teachers that are giving more work, then just gently let them know. It's how you do it as well as anything. It's just like, I get that. I mean, that was one of the things we were warned about, actually, that in the first week, students were coming back and saying, like, you're setting like a ton of work. What are you studying in English? Is that curiosity? I mean, curiosity is the whole topic. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, sociology I can't really help you with. Maybe it depends on what. If it's a book, I can help you a little bit read over the English. Depends if it's a book I've read before. Dystopia's alright. I can do dystopias. I know out of the ones that you've got, I've read Brave New World, 1984. Did you do Brave New World 1984 Animal Farm? That's fine. I haven't read Handmaid's Tale. So if you're gonna ask me about that, I'm dead. Yes, I can help you with 1984. What's the history course look on? Let me see what my students are doing in their lives. Brave New World's comfy. Do you know what era it is? I mean, so what point in history are you doing that in history now? What point? What kind of period? I mean, count me out. I know like a tiny bit. I know like the Parliament one. That's literally all I know about the English Civil War. There was loads of battles, and Oliver Cromwell won. We are being jokes aside. If you pop up with a few emails, I will tell you honestly. I'll tell you on your face if I can't do it, if I can't help you. But if I can help you, I'm happy to help you. Why not? I mean, it's more useful than me randomly talking about statistical techniques. I mean, that's not random. SRCC, you need it. We're going over medieval times for concept. Are we talking about Tudors? Are we talking about medievals? Because that's sort of early modern. Or are you talking about like the Wars of the Roses? It's such a boring war. Yeah, I mean, Cromwell was all around quite crazy. He killed a lot of Irish people as well. Henry VIII of Mac, he had a lot of fun. 6 wives, he chopped off some rares. I mean, he changed the country. He was important. Neither doesn't nickel. I still owe you 3 Red Bulls. I haven't forgotten. I mean, it looks like college will be back in June. You will get your Red Bulls. That's something. It's written on my whiteboard of things to do. Find Naima and get her drugged up on Red Bull, and watch her destroy the entire college, burn it to the ground. Sleepers for the week. I'm not returning to college. Yes, you are. You need to give me my textbook back. I mean, in June. You remember you're going to be the only ones in there, so you'll be socially isolated. If we don't think it's safe, we're not going to bring you back. Don't worry about that. All right. I myself will take personally a COVID test before I'm going to do it. Yeah. What would we do in June? With me, nothing. I'd probably call you back just for one lesson, just to see all of your faces, check everything's all right. You won't be doing mocks. You're probably going to be doing what I'm going to do, which is say, everyone come back. Let's all see each other again. And then you might basically get like a week or two. No mocks. No mocks before September. Okay. No mocks before September. No panic. What you might end up doing is like a week or two to give you like, so you know all the work you've done, hand it in. Stuff like that. Zerda, don't scaremonger. There's not going to be mocks. Promise. I promise. I'm being legit with you. If there's mocks, I'll be stunned. Because everyone in the whole college has said September, 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 right? What you might be asked to do is like, like all the work you've been doing, you're talking about, I've done this much work, da, 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 da. Make sure you're keeping hold of it so you can hand it into your teachers. That's going to be one thing. I mean, also like to give you some guidance as well. Also to get you back into a Brave New World is just a wide of it. Brave New World is probably I don't want to say that, because Animal Farm is probably the easiest to read. Brave New World is a very, very simple idea, though. I mean, when you get past it, it's like, here is this world that looks horrifying, da, 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 da. I need you to understand the universe. We're going to do that on Friday, promise. I'll show you how that's done. I mean, it's not massively difficult. What I'm going to do with you, what I plan to do with you is like, I'll show you how you could find your course. So I might pick, I don't know, Ikram or whatever, and go, okay, Ikram wants to do X, Y, Z. If I was Ikram, this is how I'll do it. So I'll live stream my screen. You're scared to go uni. Why? They'll love you. Everyone loves you. Zelda. Zelda's going to be super cool. So I mean, your subjects are crazy now. I mean, physics. Ugh. You're going to be fine. We'll get through this. This is so bad for you. Yes, agreed. Ashanti, well done. I mean, you missed about 15 minutes of maths and me just chatting to people for 25. What we're going to do, just to give you the heads up, is, yeah, basically. Actually, Ikram, be careful on that. They're making babies, but not the normal way. They're making them in bottles, right? So be careful how you summarize them. So this Brave New World is on people on drugs not making babies. They're doing the thing that helps you make babies, but not making babies. I mean, anyone who hates you is a fool. Bottle babies, yes. So, so basically what it is that they think, Brave New World, basically, the idea of the family is a curse, yeah? Caste, I'll get to that in a minute. So like they basically broke the idea of the family up. So basically everyone can have sex with everyone, right? It's considered so totally rude. If someone asks you for sex, they say no, you can't, right? And they put alcohol in, when you're like being a fetus, they put alcohol in your bottle on different levels to make you smarter or dumber. Because they're saying if you have too many smart people, the country will be unhappy. And if you have too many dumb people, the country will be unhappy. So they put a little bit of alcohol. So like the amount of alcohol that's put in your bottle, that you're born out of a bottle rather than like basically like artificial womb, will decide what caste you are. So like the top are like alpha. So like alphas are like your super clever people. They're your nimers. And epsilons are like your dumbest. And I don't know, there's no epsilons in our class. Yeah, they basically, it's not like they make little kids have sex as fun. It's more like all the stuff like humans kind of generally are private about those things by instinct. They kind of like untrain you on that, if that makes sense. So like there's something called hypnopedia. So basically as you're sleeping, they keep putting messages in your head to make you believe what they want you to believe. So yeah, I mean, it's not a dictatorship. I mean, the thing is, the whole promise of Brave New World is everyone's actually not secretly, they're all super happy with it, because like they don't do much work. They can have sex with whoever they want. They have this drug called Soma, which just makes they have this phrase that says it's better to take a gram than have a dam or something like that. So anytime you never have a time of feeling sad. So imagine like you're feeling depressed, you just automatically reach for the drug. So you never really feel sad in your life. You're always happy. Soma, yeah. I mean, Soma's a real drug, but it's a different thing. So like it's this weird world where everyone's happy, almost everyone's happy, but it's a dystopia. So basically, the book is about sex and drugs. Yeah, it kind of is. It is. I mean, sort of. There's no. You know what? There is a dictatorship, but it's so much more. Is much more. Kind of hidden. I mean, it's still there. They throw out Bernard and all the rest of those guys because they won't conform. But Big Brother, you get shot. Here, you. Can I be your tutor, please? Mine is useless. I doubt they are useless. But remember, look, what I say to you is once you're my student, you're always my student, right? At the end of Wednesday, I'll open up a chat on Microsoft Teams so people can keep in touch. And of course, I'll see you guys all again. So if you need help, ask, right? It's not like I've got super amounts of time. I'm sitting here chatting to a YouTube screen fundamentally because I'm bored. Obviously, I care about you as well. You know what I mean? So, like, I've got time for you. It's not like we're going to vanish. Ikram, why are you confused? I mean, also, by the way, if you want to go, don't feel like I'm holding you here. Like, this isn't like, let's keep VJ company because he's feeling kind of sad day. I'm actually not feeling kind of sad, but, you know, you don't have to keep me company. But if you got, you know, you're happy to chat on, I'm happy to chat on. You know what I mean? What else is there? We all bored. I like Adrian. I respect Adrian. I've got a lot of respect for Adrian. She talks sense. She talks. I've got 119 now. I mean, she's not. Do you know what? She's there to do a job, and you've got to respect that. You've got to respect that. I mean, I don't really know her outside of, you know, working with her, but she seems nice. Who's your tutor? I know Naima's, yours is Sajid, so you kind of lucked out. He's pretty good. Will do. I want to get a mask. That's what I really need. I haven't got sanitizer, but I've got soap. That's comfy. But what I really want is a mask. You don't have, you know, I'm live streaming my YouTube. I'm YouTubing my tutorials as well. I mean, it was the dumbest thing ever. I'm sure she is. I mean, I've never heard anyone criticizing. You need to go to Tesco to go, I'm going out today. I mean, wish me luck. Definitely going to wash my hands before. I'm going to take a shower. That's another thing that people are doing. I mean, like, you know, if you're going to go out, all right, wash your, like, self when you come back in. So, like, I take a quick shower. I know that's a little bit over the top, but it is kind of raining a bit, actually. I mean, I get kind of nervous going into like supermarkets. There's just too many people. I'm going, yeah. Disinfect your phone's a good shout as well. I mean, I just keep my phone in my pocket. If I'm outside, I just don't look at it. I mean, bacteria is not the worry. It's a bloody virus, isn't it? I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go out today. We'll see. We'll see. It's raining now. I've got like 2 meetings after this. But yeah, so when you are going out, just like, I would say buy a mask as well, or get a mask. I've ordered it for Amazon, but they're taking forever. If you've got bandana or hijab or something, like if you own any of those things, you can make a mask super easy. But obviously, I don't have a hijab or a bandana. It's kind of out of luck. Yes, of course you have one. You have one. You have a mask, that'd be handy. But yeah, I want a mask. Yeah, you can do one off a t-shirt. Wearing the cover. I mean, I did think about that actually. But all of these things are quite like involve me going outside. And well, to be fair, there was one that's quite close. I'm claustrophobic, so I can't. I mean, I'll legit panic attack switch, but I'm going. Yeah, I mean that it does sort of fit the. I mean, no one's going to be complaining about people covering their faces anymore, are they? I mean, all that stuff, you know, like, was it the French government? So you can't cover your face. Now you have to wear a mask. Ironic how that works. All right. I think I'm going to vanish in a few seconds. The mask has to be tight, yeah. I mean, I'm growing a beard at the moment, so that's going to have to go. It's not a good beard, I've got to say. Yeah, I mean, good, yeah, it does. Well said, sir. Well said, and you know. If he'd been wearing one, you might not have got it himself. It was good to have a chat. I think actually not Sunday. Friday's going to be even better because we can actually talk to each other. We'll do it on Microsoft Teams. So if you haven't already downloaded Microsoft Teams, do that, and then we'll actually talk to each other as like humans. I like the amount of people that comes, about 10 people. No one here is loudmouthed. We can just keep your microphones on. We'll just chat. Yeah, he had a chat. God bless. At least, you know, God bless this kid. He was shaking hands with people. I mean, I don't wish him, though. You don't want him dead. But, you know, I hope he's just straightened up now. Yeah. You're going to go and find out that thing that no one else, Apparently, it doesn't exist for you sleeping. God bless all of you guys, right? I'll see you on Friday. Take care. Look after yourselves, right? Bye.